Last time we opened Mary Magdalene's diary for the first time. We corrected a 1400-year lie. She was never a prostitute, not once in any gospel. She was a woman from Magdala who had been freed from 7 demons, who had resources and standing, and who chose to follow Jesus and support his ministry. We met Joanna, who left a palace to walk dusty roads. We heard Mary name the faithful and glamorous daily reality of following. She stayed when others left. Today, the road leads somewhere dark, and she stays there too. Entry 5, the cross. John 19:25, Mark 15:40-41. I want to tell you about standing at the foot of the cross. Not theologically, physically. The sound of it, the smell, the particular horror of watching someone you love die slowly in public while a crowd watches and soldiers gamble below. I was there. I did not run. I want you to understand something about that. The disciples, the 12 men who had been with him for 3 years, who had eaten with him and prayed with him and heard every teaching and witnessed every miracle, most of them were not there. They had run. Peter had denied him 3 times before the rooster crowed. I do not tell you this to shame them. Fear does things to people. I tell you this because I want you to know who was there. His mother, his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and me. Women. We were the ones who stayed. I have thought about why. I think it's because we had less to lose in the political sense. The authorities were not looking for us. The risk of being identified as a follower was lower for a woman than for a man. But I also think it was something else. I think that when you have been freed from 7 demons, when you know what it is to be in the dark and have someone pull you out, you do not leave. Not when the darkness comes for him, not for anything. I stood there. I watched. I could not fix it. I could not stop it. I could not do anything except be present. Sometimes presence is all there is. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is simply refuse to look away. Entry 6, the tomb. Matthew 27:57-61, Mark 15:47. Joseph of Arimathea took the body. He was a member of the council, a secret disciple, and he went to Pilate and asked for permission to bury Jesus properly. Pilate agreed. They wrapped the body in linen and laid it in a tomb cut out of rock. They rolled a stone across the entrance. I was there. I watched where they laid him. I want you to understand why I watched so carefully. Because I was coming back. The Sabbath was beginning. We could not finish the burial preparation, the spices, the anointing, because the law required rest. So I watched. I noted exactly which tomb, exactly where the stone was, exactly how to find it again. In the dark, early in the morning, I was coming back. That night I sat in the dark, not the old dark, not the dark of the 7 demons, a different dark, the dark of grief, the dark of a world that had been full of something extraordinary and was now empty. I thought about the first day, the quiet that came after. I thought about the road, all the miles, all the teachings, all the healings I had watched. I thought about his face, the way he looked at people, the way he looked at me. And I thought, I do not understand this, but I will go back, because that is what you do. You go back. Entry 7, the empty tomb, John 20, 1-10. I went back when it was still dark, before sunrise. I could not wait for the light. I came to the tomb. The stone had been moved. I stood there, and then I ran. I ran to Simon Peter. I ran to John. I said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have put him." They ran back with me. John outran Peter. He bent down and looked in. Peter went past him straight into the tomb. The linen wrappers were there. The cloth that had been around his head was folded, set aside. John saw it and believed. And then they went home. They went home, and I stood outside the tomb. And I wept. I need to tell you about this moment because it matters. The disciples had seen the empty tomb. John had believed, and they had gone home. I was still there, weeping, not because I didn't believe, because I could not leave. Whether the tomb was empty or full, whether his body had been taken or something else had happened, I could not make myself walk away. This was the last place he had been. I was not ready to leave, and so I stayed. And in staying, I became the first person to see what the disciples had gone home to process. Entry 8, Rabboni, John 20, 1-18. I bent down and looked into the tomb. 2 angels in white seated where the body of Jesus had been, one at the head, one at the feet. They said, "Woman, why are you weeping?" I said, "They have taken my Lord away, and I don't know where they have put him." I turned around. A man was standing there. I thought he was the gardener. He said to me, "Woman, why are you weeping? Who is it you are looking for?" I said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." And then he said my name. Mary. Just that one word, my name. The way he had always said it, with that specific, particular, complete attention. The way he looked at people. I turned and I said, "Rabboni," which means teacher. I want to sit in this moment for as long as you let me, because this is the moment, not the empty tomb, not the folded cloth, not the angels. This, a garden early in the morning, a woman who would not leave, and her name, said by the only voice in the world that had always known exactly who she was. Not what people had said she was, not the label, not the prostitute they invented, not the demon-possessed woman she had been. Mary, her name, her actual, specific, irreplaceable name. He told me, "Do not hold on to me. Go, tell my brothers, I am descending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." And I went. I went to the disciples and I said, "I have seen the Lord." And I told him everything he had said to me. I was the first witness, the first preacher of the resurrection. Me, Mary, a woman, the one they had called a prostitute, the one who had 7 demons, the one who would not leave, the first one he told, the first one he sent. Go, tell. I went, and I told. Mary Magdalene was the first person to see the risen Jesus, the first to hear his voice, the first to recognize him, the first to be sent. Go, tell. 2 words that make her the first preacher of the gospel. In the early church, she was called apostle to the apostles, not because she held a title, but because she was the one who went and told. While the others were still behind locked doors, while the others were still processing, while the others were going home. She went and she told. The woman who was never a prostitute, the woman from Magdala, the woman who had been freed and never once stopped following, the woman who stayed at the cross when others ran, the woman who came back to the tomb in the dark, the woman who wept outside an empty tomb because she could not make herself leave. And in not leaving, she received what those who left did not. She heard her name. If you have ever felt defined by a label that was never true, if you have ever been reduced to someone else's story about you, if you have ever stayed when everyone else left and wondered if it was worth it, Mary Magdalene sees you. And the one who said her name in a garden, he knows you too. If this series has spoken to you, please subscribe. Every week we open the diary of a woman the world misunderstood. And every week the same truth shows up. God knows her name. He knows yours also. Until next time on Diary of a Biblical Woman.